Hello and welcome to the studio. Today's video comes by request of one of my students who wanted a video on head and chest register so that she could do some more practicing and develop some deeper understanding at home. One of the big things to remember is that singing is just sustained speech. So if we can start by finding our registers in speech, then it will be much easier to translate them to the vocal exercises. The easiest way to introduce this is through a very silly little poem that I teach all of my elementary children, and they really like it. The poem goes like this. These are Grandma's glasses, and this is Grandma's hat, and this is the way she folds her hands and puts them in her lap. And these are Grandpa's glasses, and this is Grandpa's hat, and this is the way he folds his arms just like that. And it's a really great exercise because it gets the kids utilizing both of these registers without ever having to understand or know the terminology or the technical aspect of it, right? They just start speaking here in their head register as they work with Grandma's voice. And they naturally go to this register when they're speaking for Grandpa. And it's a really great way for them to feel head versus chest register without getting stuck on the how do I make this sound. So a really great place to start is just by learning that poem and using it. So what exactly are head and chest register? Chest register is a function of the vocal folds where they shorten and they press together and they have a greater closed quotient, which means simply that they stay closed longer in between letting out air to get the pitch. This often feels like it resonates more in the chest or is a little bit throatier. And it has a heavier production. We often associate this with belts. So for example, hi, how are you is chest register in speech, and hi, how are you is sustained, so it's singing. Head register, the vocal folds lengthen and thin out, and only their edges are touching, so we get a much lighter vocal production. Oftentimes when the head register is undeveloped, this is very breathy, and that's okay. That breathiness is just a sign of where that strength of the register is, and it's completely changeable with training. So for head register, we're going to speak higher in what some of my students like to call the Disney princess voice. Hi, how are you? And it's really helpful to start soft when we are speaking in this register so that we don't get any chest register coming online. So hi, how are you is the head register in speech, and then hi, how are you is sustained, so it's singing. So the very first thing we want to do is just develop access to these two different registers. We can do that in multiple ways. If you're one of my students, you have individualized exercises specifically for your voice's needs. If you are not one of my private students, in general, if we're looking to get the head register online, closed vowels, staccato, and short scales are going to be your best bet for getting that to come online and start to work. So we're talking oohs, e's, maybe a little bit of I. Ooh, ooh, short little scales or staccatos. Ooh, 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 will start to help you find that register and gain control over it. For chest register, we're going to be working more with open, brighter vowels, so ah, eh, a, and we're going to be working with a louder volume at first in order to get that sensation and that feeling and really develop that somatic awareness. So, hi, how are you? And then when we translate to a vocal exercise, ah, I'm not going very far and I'm keeping it smooth and connected, and I might even slide a little. Ah. Another favorite exercise my students have is to scold a naughty puppy dog. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. It's a really great way to get that register to start turning online. So then in addition to these two registers, once we've really mastered the ability to access head and chest, we get what's called mix, and that's where these two registers play together. Once you've developed the skills to completely isolate and strengthen that head register and completely isolate and strengthen that chest register, then we really get to work on the fun part of choosing how much we're mixing. So how much head register do we want in the sound? How much chest register do we want in the sound? And then the world of vocal colors completely opens for us. So mix is going to be somewhere in the middle. Hi, how are you? So you can hear a little bit of head, you can hear a little bit of chest. Ah, or ah, And finding what vowels work best to find your mix is really going to be individualized to each student. Again, if you're not one of my private students and you're looking for something in general, that A vowel is going to be really helpful in getting the chest register and the head register to come online and start play together. So I hope that was very helpful and gives a little more of a clear picture of what head register and chest register is and how to ask them. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comments and I'm happy to answer or make another video. Thanks.